Yo, what's going on guys? In this video I'm going to be explaining the Abyss League. So to encounter Abyss you need to be in Act 6 and above, so zone level for at least 45. And in every zone from that point you have 8% chance to encounter it. The other way to encounter it is through map device, like any other league, but it depends on the league that you are in. Sometimes it's not in here. Next way is through the sextant. You can get modifier which gives you 2 additional abysses, and this can only appear on prime sextant and awakened sextants and elevated sextants. The next way, which is the best way to encounter it, is through scarabs. So there are 3 scarabs: rusted, which just guarantees 1 abyss; polished, which will make abyss spawn 50% more monsters; and gilded, which will also give additional abyss. So 2 abysses in total. So now let's look at the encounter. So this is how Abyss looks like. You can see the green icon on the minimap and a crack on the ground, and to activate it you have to walk over it and the crack will appear with spawning monsters. At the end of it there will be a hole which will spawn even more monsters, and after you kill monsters the next crack will appear, and so on. If you do not kill monsters fast enough, the crack will disappear and you won't be able to encounter the next one. And this process can happen few times. At the end of the encounter, you have 2 things that can happen. You can either get Abyssal Trove, which is basically a chest that will drop some rare items, maybe some currencies, and special Abyss Jewels that you can only get from this. The second possible outcome is you can get the Abyssal Depths, and I did prepare one over here. So I finished this abyss, and instead of Abyssal Trove I got Abyssal Depths. And in Abyssal Depths you can encounter one of 2 things: either Abyssal Spire, which will drop always Stygian of Ice and has a chance to drop unique Abyss Jewels, or you can encounter a Lich, which will drop some of the Abyss only uniques and also have a chance to drop the Samurai Eye card, which gives you the Watcher Eye Jewel. And one tip: if you enter the Abyssal Depths, depending on the loading screen you get, you can already know if Abyssal Depths has a Lich or not. So you can choose if you want to continue clearing Abyssal Depths if it doesn't have a Lich or not. So this loading screen has a Lich always, so the red looking thing. And if it would be like a beach looking thing with, well, water and sand, it would be only Abyssal Spire. So to prove it to you, I didn't clear this zone, and because there was a red loading screen I already know there will be a Lich at the end. So these monsters do not drop anything special, just normal loot. And at the end there is a door for arena, and here is a Lich. So there are 2 Liches, and the drop they give is always the same. So to kill the Lich you have to do few phases where you have to encounter the spires like you would in Abyssal Depths where there is no Lich. This is basically the same spire. So encounter with the Lich is pretty long, so I skipped most of it. I only want to show you the loot. All you need to know is you have to fight Lich 3 times, and 3 times you have to do the spire. So at the end you always get 1 unique Stygian Vice, and if it was a Spire, you would only get Stygian Vice, and you have a chance to drop the Samurai Eye card. So now let's talk about Abyssal Sockets and Abyssal Jewels. So the way Abyss Jewels work is you can put them in your jewel sockets on your passive tree, just like normal jewels, but also you can put them in your gear through Abyssal Sockets. So you can put this jewel in and equip it, and the item will also give you these modifiers. So there are basically 3 ways to get Abyssal Sockets. First way is through Stygian Vice belt, which drops from Stygian Spires and Abyss bosses. Second way is through unique items, which drop from Abyss bosses. And the third way is through Hollow Fossil, which you can use on the item and get guaranteed Abyssal Sockets, and this drop from Delve. So in terms of uniques, there are few uniques that drop from bosses. These jewels are new jewels that can drop not only from bosses but also from the Stygian Spire, and these unique items only drop from leeches. And Light Poacher, Tomb Fist and Bubonic Trail have 2 versions, with 1 Abyssal Socket and with 2 Abyssal Sockets. And the most valuable item you can get from leeches are Tomb Fist and Bubonic Trail with 2 Abyssal Sockets. Everything else is not worth that much. Shroud of the Lightless could be worth a little bit at the beginning of the league. So here you can see I have 2 versions, one with one Abyssal Socket and 2 with 2. And divining them do not change the number of sockets. So what are the ways to make currency using this league? And to be honest, this league is not that well rewarding, and one of the ways you can make currency is through crafting jewels, but you won't really make that much money through crafting them. The second way is through basically just using your abyss in the map to increase the monster count. So you can use the abyss scarabs, for example, when you are farming burial chambers, to increase the monster count. So this way you have additional chance to drop a doctor card. And the last way is through using the Atlas passives. In New Vastir, it's basically more monsters and more loot, which is already kinda low, so it doesn't really increase your loot by that much. But in Tyr's End, Lightless Legion is actually pretty good. What it does is your Abyssal Depths that you encounter will have 3 to monster level, which is pretty much the best way to get item level 86 Stygian Vices, and item level 86 Stygian Vices can be worth quite a lot at the beginning of the league. Also, if you farm abysses in this zone, you will get more drops and higher chance to encounter the leech. So this is pretty much the only good way to make currency using this league. So most of the people do not bother farming it, which is actually why using Lightless Legion is pretty good way, because not that many people are going to do it. So that's going to be it for this video, and if you have some questions, you can ask them in comments and I will try to answer them. See you next time.